Okay, coming to you from the Old Courthouse in Niagara on the Lake. In fact, it's very rich in history, this building. To be precise, it's 200 years old this year. What's really fascinating about this building, besides it being an old courthouse, is that it's also home to some of the most intriguing, fascinating, and exciting Shaw Festival plays. And oh yeah, somebody says it's haunted.
So the courthouse building here in Niagara on the Lake is actually quite interesting, just from the fact that how much it stands out. Anybody coming into the town, they immediately notice this building. It's Gothic style architecture. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that it has been a historical failure right from the start. I'll explain. So in the 1840s, this was the last ditch effort for them to keep the only government service here in the former capital of Canada, which is Niagara on the Lake. It was the courthouse, so they poured all their money into it. They built it in record time. They got the best architect of the day, William Thomas, to design it, which didn't matter because 10 years later they moved it to St. Catharines anyway. So we have an empty building to fill. They'll put everything in there. I believe a local market went in there. A fire hall went in there. My personal favorite is a suspender factory. The suspender factory was in there for about 10 years. And library was in there for a bit. And today the Shaw Festival, it's a theater. Parks Canada and the Chamber of Commerce occupy the space. So the old courthouse is definitely haunted. Now, when we talk about this, we're a little bit hesitant. We've received so many stories over the years. One of them is one of my favorites. We tell this on the tour. This young girl who worked there, she was walking down the main hallway. She hears a noise from her right-hand side. It's knocking. I mean, she immediately assumes there's something wrong with it because if I'm trapped in a room, I'm knocking very quick and I'm yelling out for help. But the woman there, she heard like it was methodical, knocking on an old wood door. So she looks over to which room it is, and it's the jail cell. Now, this room had been locked, dark, and empty for years at the time. However, she had to check it just in case somebody was trapped. So she runs to the office to get the key. She comes back to the door. She puts the key in the lock, and the knocking is still going on as she's doing this. She turns the key and swings open the door and finds nothing inside. Now, I wish it was more of a dramatic ending to that story, but there was nothing, right? People want things to pop out. It doesn't always happen in real life. So the only question we could ask the young lady was, what happened to the knocking? And she said, I describe it as when you wake up from a very visual dream, you're hearing things as well, and when you wake up, the hearing then echoes away into nothingness. She said when she opened the door, that's what happened to it. Now, that's one story. I'm not allowed to use names for this one. It has to stay a secret. But in the Parks Canada area, some of the workers, one worker in a corner office would complain about the heat. So the heat was too much. This guy liked it to be cold in his office. Corner office, that's what he wanted in the summertime. So he would turn the thermostat down. Now, he would find it getting hot in his office. He'd go back to the thermostat. Guess what? It's back up again. Now, he blamed the employees. He thought the employees were messing with it because they were too cold. So he actually got a little lockbox, stuck the lockbox over the thermostat, locked it up. He had the only key. So at this point, he knew nobody would ever turn it up again. Guess what? It went up again by itself. So he knew there was something else to it. Now, he got paranormal investigators to come into the building. They researched it, and they believe they found out the answer. Because a similar experience happened to a man named Judge Edward Campbell. He had pretty much the exact same office, but he had the opposite problem. He was always too cold, and he wanted it to be warmer. So they didn't have the technology at the time during the winter to keep the cold out, so he just had to live with it. Well, actually, he didn't live with it. He died because of it. So it is believed that when it is known Judge Campbell died of pneumonia, it is believed that he caught it from being in that cold office. So that's why his ghost now raises the thermostat.